Hello, racing gamers, and welcome to BombersportsPlays, the single most requested game on the history of this channel, Project Cars. It's finally here! Finally! Project Cars has come back! Inadequate pause. To BombersportsPlays! Because I promised it ages ago when I got it for PC, and then the PC version never fucking worked. It would just crash out of every race, and I wouldn't crash out of every race. The computer would. It would just crash the desktop and lag stuff and bugs and everything, and it was horrible. But now I've got the Xbox One version. There are no more excuses. It's time to get into the greatest stroke worst racing game of all time. There's a weird mixed response to this. Let's just set up our career mode. I don't fancy being British for this one because I don't like my own country that much at the moment. I don't like the US much either. What's the alternative? Maybe Republic of Ireland, because that's the country I'm probably going to go to once Brexit happens. And I'll be number 36 because on brand. Anyway, let's dive into the Project Cars career mode. And here's how it's set up. There's different tiers, and you can kind of start where you want. So I guess it's realistic to real motorsport in several ways, because number one, if you have enough money in real motorsport, you can start wherever the fuck you want. You don't have to start in karting because you're just too rich for that. And number two, you'll see over there on the right, the top tier is LMP1, not F1, because like most people in real motorsport, you'll work your way up the ladder through single-seaters and then realise you need £30 billion and a dad who imports Ferraris to get into Formula 1, and you'll end up in sports car racing. So it's realistic in that aspect. Now, I don't want to start down in karting, because that's just long. I don't want to do the single-seater route, because I want this career mode to not be like xMattyG's and basically be one episode after the other just going, "Are you fucking shitting me?" over and over. So instead, I am going to go the GT touring car racing route. You see there? Endurance GT3, 4, 5, blah, blah, blah. Touring cars, Renault Clio Cup, bitches. That is where we are going to start our Project Cars career mode. It is on now, bitches. And here is our career mode hub. I'm also going to break out the drink that I'm going to be having for this series. Yep, I'm going to have Coke for this series rather than tea. I've decided that arbitrarily because we've run out of tea bags today on the day I'm recording this, which is really annoying. Anyway, yeah, emails, standard kind of career mode hub stuff. The impression I'm getting off this game, the first impression now I'm properly able to play it. Driving, physics, graphics-wise, there's the rules for the series. The Renault Clio Cup has 2 races, one with a mandatory pit stop, which is a bit weird because the real series doesn't have that. Also, I'm liking the Twitter feed over on the right-hand side. Tempted to buy a WMD AJ Bombersports t-shirt, but I think I'll wait until after the first race. Bitch, please, have you not seen my NASCAR Heat Evolution career? Team Budget Sports has a rep. We are expanding. We're moving out of just stock car racing because as a non-American driver, Trump probably hates us, and Brian France probably hates us because we love Mexicans. So we are expanding into Renault Clio Cup racing, and it is time to start said career. Round 1 of 5 at Donington Park. We'll have a 25% race. There's all the other championships happening at around the same time as us. All the open wheel championships with a swearing Tourette's-infested xMattyG. And then there's us over in the Clio Cup. It's time to get it on. Look at this. We're on the starting grid. If this footage looks a little bit laggy, by the way, for some reason my HD PVR2 had a strop for the first race. It will improve. But for now, let's get ready to rumble and bring the noise. And that is a really good start. Oh my goodness, look at this. We're flying up through the... oh goodness me, we've run over someone there. Vincent Vinci, or whatever he's called. He is now back on our inside going into the first turn. And we're on the grass, we are falling off, we're all over the place. Going down through the Craner curves for the first time. This is one of the most terrifying sections of racetrack in the entire British Isles. Down the Craner curves at almost full speed. And now through the old hairpin, which isn't a hairpin, it should be actually called the brown underpants turn and the dented doors turn, because I've just wiped out 2 people there. That poor guy, is he called Michael Ball? That's a pop singer, isn't it? He's moonlighting as a Clio Cup driver, and he's now very unhappy at me because I've basically just done a burnout 3 takedown move on him. We're up to 9th place, though, halfway around the first lap. This is ridiculous. This is incredible. Bill Belichick is apparently just right behind us, and he is putting a lot of pressure on. And we don't need this pressure on, so we're sparking flames out of the tailpipes at him. Oh, this is just brilliant. What a start. This race probably won't do it justice, because as I say, my HD PVR2 decided to go through... Why is that guy going on the grass? What? I'm on your inside, mate. I'm giving you space. Admittedly, not much, because this is touring car racing, so get wrecked, son. Oh, we're now trying to get in the boot of David SpaceX car. one of the dev team cars right up in front of us. But yeah, this race isn't demonstrating the graphics too well because my HD PVR decided to have a tantrum recording the first race. Having done 5 test races completely smoothly, I was like, yeah, fine, these settings are good. And then this happened. So luckily the other races from here on out should be just fine. The second race of this event is okay. So incidentally, if anyone wants a HD PVR 2 in pretty good condition and wants to swap it for an Elgato, let me know, because I probably like an Elgato, thank you. Oh god, SpaceX will want a new bit of bodywork for his car. We've just ploughed him, and in fact I'm being very British and very sporting, letting him back through. Oh, he's steady on Bilicek. I didn't mean to let you through as well. You stay right there, pal. There was no need for that. I was just being sporty because I completely ploughed SpaceX out of the way, and in a rare moment of politeness, I actually let him back through, because I am sporting like that. This is not how we win races. We probably will ram people out of the way to win races because we're in the Clio Cup. That's exactly what happens. Have you not seen... If any of you haven't seen the real-life Renault Clio Cup, do watch it. They support the British Touring Car Championship, and it's like, basically, like, if the British Touring Car Championship is grown men being touring car drivers and the amount of carnage that results from that, the Clio Cup is kind of like teenagers thinking they're touring car drivers. It's like the development series. It's basically like British Touring Car Championship's Xfinity series. And it's just absolute carnage. And then you got the Ginetta Junior Championship, which I think is the championship we progress into after this one, which is like, if anything, it's like 15-year-olds who think they're GT drivers, and that can be even more chaotic. But yeah, oh, big sideways moment there as we're having a look at the onboard cameras. We'll scroll through all the cameras. I'll stick with the third-person cam because I like using it for Let's Play videos because it gives you a full view of the car. Down the craners once again on lap 3 or 4. See if we can get up the inside of the old hairpin and see if we can stick to it this time. Oh god, we've run him off the track again. We've run ourselves off the track again. And he's straight back up the inside. And he's just ran Bilicek off into the grass. That is ridiculous. And there's just a massive swarm happening behind us. This battle between us and SpaceX is just off the charts right now. SpaceX just sat there like, for crying out loud, are you actually just going to pass us, or are you going to keep trying and failing? Like, for the last few laps, he's been in Groundhog Day. Every corner, he just sees a big silver Clio go flying past him and then off into the gravel, and he's like, well, bye then. We keep up our pursuit here. We are determined. We are undefeated. We are not afraid. We will keep the fight going to the very end. And what I'm hoping to do, I'll probably do like 1 round per video, so these will be slightly shorter than the NASCAR Heat Evolution videos and the other stuff. I kind of miss how my like NASCAR 07 videos actually turn out quite short. Oh, hello, SpaceX is just going nowhere through the final chicane. And he tried to close the door, but we were already there. Hello, Dave. Not hello, Bane this time. Oh, he's on the... Why are you on the grass? Well, I was kind of closing him off, but still, that's a bit of an overreaction. Oh, that's an overreaction. That's a massive oversteer and an overreaction. And we lose the position again. We cannot hold up, missing 7th place for anything. And now... this guy behind us, who has a name which looks like it's the wrong way round, his surname's Simon and his forename's surname, he's now putting us under pressure, so we've got to be careful through the rest of the lap. Basically, we're caught between a rock and a hard place right now. This is the most sideways Clio ever. One of the fun things about front-wheel drive, this is something that Car Throttle will not tell you about front-wheel drive cars. Front-wheel drive race cars, if you get them ridiculously sideways, as you'll probably see again in a minute, I called it! Sideways again, I just blow up every single time I get alongside SpaceX and look for the pass. I just blow the fuck up. It just happens. That's just what I do. It's my gimmick at this point. But yeah, the great thing of this, if you get into a massive slide in a front-wheel drive car, just mash the throttle. Incidentally, speaking of mashing the throttle, I'm going to do that a lot because look behind me. There's cars just off the track. It's like something out of Mad Max back there. They're like 4 and 5 wide down the back straight for the final time. Let's just navigate this final chicane safely, shall we? I think that's probably the best for all involved, really. A little bit of a hop and skip and a jump over the rumble strips. Pretty spectacular. But in spite of everything, in spite of a capture car that just will not comply, and in spite of my own disgusting attempts at passing SpaceX, we finished 8th on debut in the Project Cars career mode. Finally, a race has happened on this channel. In fact, it's probably just my capture card is so amazed it's actually having Project Cars being put through it. It's like, what? Time out. I'm as amazed as anyone else at this. But we finished 8th. First time out. That is a good start considering we just completely skipped qualifying because this is Team Budget Sports and we couldn't afford tyres for qualifying. So, from last to 8th, can we do any better in race 2? Remember, mandatory tyre stop in this race as well. So there's a little element of pit strategy as well. We've got to get 4 tyres and no fuel because these don't need it. The sun's out a little bit more now. Donny, let's get going. Not a very good start at all. Well, still pretty good. Considering all the cluster fruitcaking at the back here, what is this guy doing? I will say, my first impression so far, as we are flying into the first corner for the first time, we nearly get cut off by Powell there. We're running him out wide. Bielicek is on our left again. I know his name's actually not Bielicek, but I'm running with it now. Vincius Vindi Vendi, isn't that the name of a Hives album? A very good one as well, but we've passed him anyway. And now we're looking towards the old hairpin again. This is just Dive Bomb City. In that respect, it is like an old hairpin. We just went 4 wheels off the track, but oh fucks given. And these guys are just wobbling around. What's that guy doing? I'm sorry, my engineer's lecturing me about track limits as a guy just turns left and just shortcuts the track like it's the backstretch dog leg at Phoenix. Like, what the fuck? Did you see this? That was ridiculous. Anyway, entertaining race so far. Good start. We're up to 5th. Peep this. We're in 5th place halfway around the first lap. What a start. This is phenomenal stuff. We could be on, potentially, whisper it quietly, we could be on for our first win in our Project Cars career mode in our second race. Well, we've got to focus. Remember how many times we blew up trying to pass someone for 7th place, let alone the lead. Going down into the final chicane. They are side by side. Is that SpaceX again? It is SpaceX. He is sick to death at the sight of us at this point. So I'm just going to run him off into the grass just to compound that ill feeling a bit more. And we're up to... we are in 4th. How are we in 4th? How has that happened? Oh, no. Oh, God. We nearly got into the back. We could be on the podium here, lads. But lads, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we could be on the podium here. We just got to keep calm here. My engineer's trying to nag me about the best chance to overtake being in one of the slow corners. I've no idea what he's talking about, but I've instead passed that guy through the fastest corners on the damn track because I just have that much motherfucking swag. Thank you very much. We're in 3rd and we're in the podium spots in our second ever race. Yeah. And now we are behind Bergmuller, Bergvan. Oh, flames spitting out the exhaust. Just flames everywhere. This is the story of this race so far. It's just flames everywhere. Fire emoji all over the place. I'll tell you what, I'll give you, in a brief bit of downtime here, there's really been, this is not like the NASCAR games where the races are long enough for there to be a little bit of downtime. But they've been breathless intensity so far, as you'd expect from Clio Cup sprint racing, touring car style racing. We are actually side by side with Bergmuller, who's just fucking off to Narnia for no reason, in a straight line. Side by side down into the final chicane. He's later on the brakes than us. Oh, we just muscle him out eventually. But we are just going to let him through because I don't want him getting in the way of us, as we are going to pit in for our mandatory pit stop now. So we're down for our 4 tyres and no fuel, unless the crew are handing me. In fact, here's my fuel. My pint of Coca-Cola. Or Pepsi. I'm one of those people that's not fussed. I once annoyed a lot of people by being like, is there much difference between Coke and Pepsi? And everyone was like, yes. And I was like, well, yeah, now I know. Also, Domino's are trying to text me mid-recording as if to tempt me something. Go away! Actually, I might treat myself to a pizza after this. Anyway, we are down and away. Flames, just flames everywhere. And we are down and away in 15th. But we are behind the guy we were behind when we came into the pits, so hopefully we shouldn't have lost that much time in the pits. So, we are down and away. And now we've got the slightest amount of downtime. I'm going to give you my first impressions on Project Cars. I might do a full review video, who knows. I actually enjoyed doing the first impression style video I did on NASCAR Heat Evolution, so I might do one for Project Cars as well, more of a full review. But so far, I can see why this game has very mixed responses. Like, this game, graphically, it looks phenomenal. It drives amazingly on wheel. I've heard it's borderline undrivable on pad, and I can believe it because it is so hardcore simulation physics. It's very much like Shift 2 Unleashed. In fact, I think it's the same people who did Shift 2 Unleashed and the Need for Speed Shift games, and they were difficult on wheel, so at least they've got that right. It's very nice on wheel out of the box. Handling's amazing on wheel, some of the best handling I've ever had. The cars look gorgeous, a great roster of cars and tracks. Potentially one of the best racing games I've ever played, except there are some deal breakers. There are some random glitches and bugs that are kind of unacceptable, like someone should have QA'd them. Looking up the inside here on Bergmuller. Oh god, oh, he cut us off. What was that? The absolute fuck. Are you seeing this shit? Oh god, we've nearly been run over by Simon Anderson. I am sorry, Simon, I just got screwed over by that absolute bell end up ahead of us. Right, head down, we have got a job to do now, especially as there's now loads of cars coming out of the pits. Heading up towards the first corner. I think this is called Redgate. And we are 10th place. But given our pace so far in this race, I feel like we can do a lot better than 10th, lower end of the top 10 this time. And we're not battling with SpaceX again, for one thing. You'll notice much better quality in this race on the capture footage, so I'd given my capture card a stern talking to at this point, and it was finally playing ball. But yeah, like, this game, really enjoyable, but also really frustrating at the same time. Like some of the bugs are almost like NASCAR ETX level of just like, what the fuck, seriously? And that's probably why the whole announcement of like 2 days after it was released, they were like, oh, we're doing Project Cars 2. Do you want to crowdfund that? Having just paid like £60 for Project Cars 1, which still is a bit buggy and probably needs some patches, but yay, we're already working on the sequel. Yeah, I can see why that left a bad taste in people's mouths. In the same way that NASCAR Heat Evolution having released a paint scheme DLC when the game probably wasn't worth $60 to begin with. Yeah, that left a bad taste in people's mouths. But overall, oh god, what is this guy doing? Piccoli, what the? Are you just, no, he's not peeing. Okay, I'm gonna have to actually pass this guy who's clearly drunk. He is just intoxicated all over the place. But anyway, down into the first corner we go. Ooh, big lock up. You have to be careful. Towards the end of races, the tyres do start to go away and you start to lock up a lot easier. Piccoli's trying to get revenge for our drunk slur. He did not appreciate that insult, that trash talking from us. We are charging. We're up to 5th. A podium is still on here.
Okay, mate, you're on his tail. Let's try and nail him on this.
I love the fact that sometimes my engineer will be like, yeah, try and pass him, mate. And I'm like, I have already passed him. As you can see there, swag for days. And look who it is. Right, bitch, you are going down. You took us out. You chopped us the fuck off at the chicane. Took us out. You must have thought your podium was secure, huh? Hey. Wanting a comeback greater than John Cena? It is time. Or should that be a comeback greater than Goldberg? Oh, up the inside. No. He closed the door. Here we go. It's going to be at the final corner. The corner he cut us the fuck off at. Here we go. Brace yourself. Stand by your beds. Because you know what's coming now. Dive Bomb City, bitch. Really late on the brakes. Oh, just get wrecked. Get absolutely banged, son. Get so badly railed. It hurts for days. Because I am finishing 3rd in my 2nd ever Project Cars race. Yeah! That was brilliant. Excuse me. Just made me run out of voice. Oh my word. What a start to our career, guys. That was awesome. Well, we finished 3rd. And I hope you've enjoyed episode 1 of BombersportsPlays Project Cars. Comment down below. Subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you guys very, very soon back on the trail of Team BombersportsPlays, be it in the Renault Clio Cup or in NASCAR Heat Evolution. I'll see you next time, guys.